Thank you, everyone. All right, so let's go. So I'm talking this very morning about enhancing competitiveness through the acquisition of digital skills, and I'll be talking to us around this major outline. I'll be talking to us. Let's take a peep into the post-COVID world. Then we'll talk about the digitalized world because the world now has been digitalized. Then we take another look at digital skills. What are the digital skills that we need in this new era? Then we will look at what's the way forward. Because now that we know what the digital skills are, what's the way forward? How do we go from here? Then we have our conclusion. So that's I just have a 5 outline, which I'm going to breeze through in less than 4 to 5 minutes. So we can have, I think there's room for question and answer. So we're going to breeze through this 5, then we have room to engage. So let's talk about the post-COVID world. Now, one of the key things I would like to share with us is this, that the digital landscape is already changing. As a matter of fact, it has changed. And if you are not trained for it now, you will be losing your advantage. As a matter of fact, you'll be far behind. If you're not trained or getting retrained for the new digital landscape now, you will be far behind. In the wake of the global pandemic, the importance of digital skills has never been so evident or so urgent like it is now, because digital skills have become the basic requirement of the new world. Now, I'm going to quote a scripture for us. It's First Chronicles, which talks about the men of Issachar, where the Bible says that men who had expert, this is a Bible in basic English, which is men who had expert knowledge of the times and what it was best for Israel to do. This era calls for people who have specialized knowledge because the seasons have changed. Globally, nationwide, personally, we are in a change mode now. Everything has changed. Things are drastically changing. So we're in a change mode now, which is one of the key reasons why we all need to begin to adapt, initiate, and also ride on the wings of change. As the world struggles to fashion a new normal for the post-pandemic era, it is more apparent than ever that digital skills, that the ability to leverage digital technology or digital skills will be vital to the future of resilience and prosperity of nations, communities, companies, and individuals. Our ability to leverage digital technology is going to be our advantage in this new world. Now, the lockdown season and the pandemic has gone beyond an health crisis. It has affected several things. Number one, I think Martin talked about the economy. It has affected the economy. It has affected our definitions, and it has given us new definitions. There are some words we use now that we weren't using before. So we now have new definitions now. Number 3, it has affected our habits. It has affected our lifestyle. The psychologists will tell you that you need 21 days to create a new habit. That lockdown was more than 21 days. Some nations are still in lockdown now. So we've created a new lifestyle. We've created some new habits. So those are some of the things that the lockdown season gave us. It has affected the workplace. The workplace is not like before. I'm going to show us later on the 4 jobs that digitalized work creates. Many people lost their jobs. Many people have to redefine their jobs. Many people have to get new jobs because of what has happened. Number 5, it has affected demand and supply. Things people demand for have changed also during the lockdown and after the lockdown. It has affected the intensity and the scope of things. The intensity, the dimension of intensity we give to things have changed also because of the lockdown. It has affected our attention. It has affected our opportunities. It has created some opportunities. It has diminished some opportunities, but opportunities have been affected. Number 9, it has created and demanded new skill sets. The demand for some skill sets have drastically increased. The demand for some skill sets has drastically reduced. Some skill sets are no longer required any longer because of what has happened during the COVID period and even the post-COVID period. And it has also affected relationships. It has affected relationships. Now, the post-COVID world has the following characteristics, 6 characteristics. Number one is called borderlessness. I want to stop here a little bit to talk about this. Let's talk a little bit about borderlessness. Borderlessness simply means that the post-COVID world now, there are no longer borders because it has been seriously digitalized. I don't need to be in Canada for me to actually have clients in Canada now. For example, 60% of my clients are not in Nigeria. Why I live in Lagos, Nigeria? And it's simply because of borderlessness. Because borderlessness have hit us like never before. There are no longer borders to doing business because we are now in a digitalized world, which is one of the key things we must understand in this post-COVID era. Borders have been broken. Borders have diminished. That's number one. Number two is taste and preference have also changed. Number three, there's a new language we speak now, and that language is technology. That language is digitalized. Number four is the economic recession. Number five is there are job losses and there are job gains. I think Master talk about. Let me talk about this again. Master talk about this. Number six, we have moved from bricks to clicks. There is a breakdown in bricks and mortar in the post-COVID world. Now, instead of being under brick and mortar, we are now under click. We are almost one click away from everything we do. Several meetings don't have to happen again at the head office. Most of them happen on Zoom now. Several conferences don't have to happen at a hotel any longer. They now happen on Zoom now. So we are moving away from the bricks to the clicks now. So these are the characteristics of the post-COVID world. And we cannot shy away from this reality. That is why I'm putting towards this very morning that you cannot lead without ushering in change. So we all must be ready to usher in change, to birth change, and to also change. And that leads us to my second outline, which is the digitalized world. Now, talking about the digitalized world, it's raining here. Talking about the digitalized world, I'm going to start with a very, very funny statement, which is what I call the digital Darwinism. The world has changed. The world has entered what some regard as an era of digital Darwinism. And what is digital Darwinism? It's talking about the way technology is evolving at a fast pace, that many individuals, many organizations are being forced to adapt to it. We are being forced to adapt to it. Digital Darwinism is thriving in the face of digital change. And there is a huge change that has hit us in the world today. The rate of change, as the rate of change accelerates, people, business, entire countries are struggling to stay aware of the latest technological developments, let alone understand them well enough. Before you can understand this one, there's a new one that has shown up. Before you're trying to grab on the new one, there's another one that has shown up again. So there's the change is at a fast pace, which is why digital Darwinism is the world we're living in now. Digital Darwinism is all about the evolution of society and technology and its impact on behavior, expectations, and customs. What is digital Darwinism based on? It's based on a statement Charles Darwin made, where he said that it is not the strongest of the species that survive, not the most intelligent that survive. It is the one that is most adaptable to change that survive. And because of the extent of digital change, then one of the key things we all need to understand is we must be apt in adapting to change if we want to thrive in this new era. We must be able to adapt to change. Boston College did a research, and it said over 40% of companies that were at the top of the Fortune 500 in the year 2000 are no longer there by the year 2010. Why? Digital Darwinism took place. That's what happened. Digital Darwinism swept many houses. The old training programs are no longer cutting it. They are no longer cutting it again. Why? According to a study by Deloitte said that digital skills now have a half-life of about 2.5 years. Why? Because of the increasing pace of technological advancement. there's a huge change in technical advancement, and this change has actually made the half-life of most of our digital skills 2.5 years. This is really, really alarming. In order to keep up with changing digital trend and innovation, it is essential for every one of us today to update training on at least a quarterly basis. You must update your skill set at least on a quarterly basis, because the half-life of most digital skills now is 2.5 years. It's 2.5 years. So I'm going to give us a bit of research before we go into the digital world now. According to FEMI Consulting, 90% of companies stated that the employees lack necessary skills in social media, mobile, and data analysis. 90%, 9 out of every 10 employees lack necessary skills in social media, mobile, and data analysis. This is very heartbreaking. Very, very heartbreaking. In Europe, 42% of the citizens of Europe don't have basic digital skills, even though most jobs require such skills. Now, if Europe has 42% of the citizens not having it, I don't want to say what happens to Nigeria and Africa. I'm going to show us Africa statistics shortly also. That is 7% of people in the labor force also lack sufficient digital skills, despite the increasing need for more skills in all jobs. Excuse me. About 133 million new workplace roles will be generated globally by 2022. Why? Because of the marriage between human, machine, and algorithms. This is according to World Economic Forum. Nothing less than 133 million new workplace roles will be generated by 2022. I mean next year. 54% of all employees will require sufficient reskilling by next year. 54% of all employees will require sufficient reskilling by 2022. To close the digital skill gap is going to cost $11.5 trillion to global GDP by 2028. Now, these are alarming figures. 79% of global CEOs are concerned about the availability of key digital fourth industrial revolution skills. Globally, it's 79%. In Africa, it's 87%. It's 87%. These are figures by PwC. 7% of jobs are at risk of automation by 2030. This is another research by PwC. 7% of jobs. 65% of individuals recruited for jobs at African companies surveyed require at least a basic level of digital skills. Basic level of digital skills. By 2030, over 200 million jobs in Africa will require digital skills. By 2030, less than 10 years, over 200 million jobs in Africa will require digital skills. These figures, I'm not giving them to scare us. I'm sharing these figures with us so that we can actually embrace change. Now, what are the effects of digitalized world on jobs? There are only 4. Number 1 is new jobs are being created. Because of the digitalized world, there are several jobs that are being created now. For example, there are jobs like data mining, data specialist. There are jobs like product manager, not in the sense of art project. There are jobs now like app developer. New jobs are being created. Jobs that many years ago, to tell my late father that I want to become this kind of person's job, like a podcaster, my father would say, what's the meaning of this? Because new jobs are being created by digital skills, by the digitalized world also. So there are new jobs being created because of this. That is why I want to advise parents that are under the sound of my voice today. Don't tie your children to being a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, all those stuff. But in the next 20 years, some of these jobs will be automated. They'll be automated. In the next 20 years, I'm being generous with figures. In the next 20 years, some of these jobs will be automated. So new jobs are being created because of the digitalized world. Number two, some jobs will be transformed. Jobs are being transformed now. Some jobs that we used to do are beginning to have an infusion of other, beginning to have an infusion of artificial intelligence, automation, and some jobs are also being collapsed. I'll give you an example. Some few years ago, before the COVID, some 2 years ago, our company was called to come and train some secretaries of a particular bank. So when we got there, I remember we telling them that, guys, go and upskill because the world is changing. Go get some new skills. Go begin to learn how to use a computer. And they felt that we were talking beyond what we were paid to do. And the one like, come on, we are paid to do this, just do this and get out of here. So we did what we were asked to do. In less than 2 years, every secretary who attended that program was fired because they said their bosses don't need secretaries again. That's what they said. Why? Because jobs were being transformed. Secretaries were being changed to becoming PA. The skill set of a personal assistant is different from the skill set of a secretary. So, but they couldn't embrace the change. And because they couldn't embrace the change, they lost their jobs. They lost their jobs. So some jobs are being transformed. So that is one of the key reasons why, which I'm going to share with us later on. You need to know the future of your sector. You need to know the direction your sector is going at so that you will not be left behind. Because if you don't know the direction your sector is going, you will be left behind. You will be left behind. So that's a transformed job. Number three is outsourced jobs. So jobs today are being outsourced because borderlessness. Because the post-COVID world is borderless, many jobs today are being outsourced. And one of the key reasons that makes outsourcing work is because outsourcing is cheaper on your cash flow. It's cheaper on your cash flow. Some jobs today, that's why when I speak to young people, I tell them your competitors today are not people who went to Unilag, who went to Covenant, who went to UI, who went to OU, who went to students of another school, even students who are not in Nigeria. Why? Borderlessness. Borderlessness. My niece, who's in UK, was being interviewed for a job in Nigeria before coming to Nigeria. Why? Borderlessness. So jobs today are also being outsourced. And the outsourcing, because of borderlessness and technology, makes competition even fiercer in this new era, which is one of the key reasons why we must, yes, it's called globalization. Globalization means you're global in mindset, but you have an ability to localize the global mindset. That is one of the key skills we also need in the post-COVID world. And the last effect on job is lost jobs. I will try to be optimistic, but because we're in a digitalized world, many jobs will be lost, especially jobs of people who have refused to embrace the digital world. And that is the result of digital Darwinism. Digital Darwinism will naturally take some people's job away, not because they're not intelligent, not because they are not smart, but because they are not adapting to change. They are not adapting to the new things that are happening. That's the key reasons why this will happen. So now, number three, let's get into what I call the digital skills. What are digital skills? Number one, digital skills are not really only critical for you finding or keeping a job. Digital skills affect everything you do. I saw the statistics by ITU data in 2020-2019, where it was said that 46% of the world population today are still not using the internet, with slowing growth rate. So 46% of the world are still not using the power of the internet. That this shows to us why people give excuses for not having digital skills. And I won't be surprised if I find some of us on this call who fall into this category. Four major excuses why people are not using digital skills today. Number one is it does not come natural to me. I'm not a digital native. I'm a digital visitor. So because I'm a digital visitor, I'm a baby boomer. I'm not Generation X. I'm not millennial. I'm not. It doesn't come natural to me. That's number one excuse. It doesn't come natural to me. Number two excuse that people give is I'm too old to embrace new technology. I'm too old for it. Come on, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I'm made already. I don't need it. Right. Of companies, of Fortune 500 companies, in 2020, we're no longer there by 2010. So don't say you don't need digital tools. Some companies will never believe, file for bankruptcy during the lockdown. I don't want to mention names. So don't say I don't need digital skills. And number four is that I don't have time. I don't have money to learn these digital skills. I don't have the time. I'm busy. Busy being busy is an excuse. I don't have money to learn it. All these digital skills, not all of them are expensive, which I'm going to show us shortly. Not all are expensive. Some of them just need attention. Some of them just need somebody younger putting you through. That's all. Not all of them requires time excessively. Not all of them requires millions, tens of thousands. Not all of them also require you to be very young to use it. Not all. You can handle this thing. So let's go to digital skills now. What is a digital skill, or what are digital skills? Number one, digital skills are defined as a range of abilities. Watch that word, is a range of abilities to use, number one, digital devices, communication applications, and networks, and to access and manage information. This definition is by UNESCO. This is a UNESCO definition, and it says digital skills are a range of abilities that we use that use a range of abilities to use digital devices, digital communication applications, to use networks, to use and to access and manage information. What it simply means, digital skills are actually the backbone of information management. Digital skills are the access key to information. Digital skills are the abilities to handle, to manipulate the digital devices. Digital skills are the abilities you need to manage communication applications. So digital skills are very, very important in an information age. Digital skills does these things for you. Number one, it helps you create and also share digital content. It helps you create and also share digital content. One of the key things you must understand is this. In the digital world, there's something we call digital products. And one of the funnest issues is everybody under my call today can create digital products. Your digital product could be an ebook. Your digital product could be a webinar. Your digital product can actually be a podcast. Your digital product can be an IG live. Your digital product, there are several digital products. So when you say you are broke, it's your fault because you can create digital products. It can create digital products. So digital skills helps you to create digital products. For example, I happen to be a life strategist and a life coach. I coach people who are not in Nigeria today. I coach people who are not around me. When the COVID period started, all my coaching sessions were online. All of them, because we could not come one-on-one face-to-face because of social distance. They were all online. Why? Digital skills gave me an ability to create digital products. So when you have digital skills, you can create and sell digital product. That's number one. Number two, it helps you communicate and collaborate. When you have digital skills, you are able to communicate better. You are able to collaborate with other people. You can come together. I give an example. I was listening to an ebook by Ken. I can't remember his name. They wrote a book together, and the ebook, two of them were in different states in America with 6 hours difference, and they were all talking together at the same time. That is an ability to collaborate. Without meeting themselves, they were able to create something together, to collaborate together, to do what they needed to do. That is one of the power of digital skills. Number three, digital skills helps you to solve problems more effectively and also be creative in life. When you have digital skills, your ability to problem solve increases. It increases. You also have more creative abilities. Digital skills also helps you to learn better. It helps you to work better. It helps you to socialize better. And the other one here is digital skills helps you to connect with people. It helps you to connect with people better. For me being here today, I don't think I saw any of the organizers. I've never seen any of the organizers before in my entire life. But we were able to connect using digital skills. That's one of the key things you must understand. Now, I'm tired. Digital skills are so heavy and hard. Calm down. There are two major levels of digital skills. Number one level is entry level or basic level. What is the entry level or basic level? These are just functional digital skills. For example, that helps you manage digital devices, helps you manage your phone, helps you manage online applications, helps you manage what you do. For example, you can actually plan your life on your phone. You can plan your life on your phone. You can set alarms for the time you want to sleep, for all your meetings, using a Google Calendar. You can put all your appointments on me without carrying a paper all around you. Those are actually entry level. You can put all your life actually on the phone. Everything you do on the phone. You can put all your PowerPoint, your Word on your phone. Those are entry level. Your ability to even manage your WhatsApp. To manage your WhatsApp. It's part of it. So those are entry level. And everybody should at least be on this platform. The entry level, this is the basic. And number two level is the advanced level, which is your ability to make use of digital technology. How? In an empowering and transformative way. Now, people shy away from this level, but there are different grades to this. In the advanced level, you can start talking about artificial intelligence. You can start talking about your ability to predict and also manipulate algorithms. You can now start talking about cloud networking. All those ones are part of advanced, but they're not all about the advanced. They're not all about the advanced. Now, I need to run because of time. Now, they all involve this web analytics. They are your ability to analyze the websites, your activities on the web. Social media, your ability to navigate around social media, and digital marketing, the user experience, then also artificial intelligence. These are examples of advanced level. But don't worry, we'll get there. So let's talk about types of digital skills. The first one is consumer digital skills. What are consumer digital skills? These are just these are the skills you need to function socially, economically, sometimes politically in the digital world. And it involves your ability to handle messaging and also handle social media and also make online transactions, ability to use your USSD, the ability to do some online transfer, fill some online Google form or online forms, and also navigate some professional sites like LinkedIn. So these are just consumer digital skills. Number two is the productive digital skills. This talks about your ability to apply existing digital technologies. How? Your ability to sell on the digital space. Your ability to activate and also perform your enterprise on digital platforms. Your ability to mine data using Excel and also word processing. Your ability to also manipulate online advertising. Your ability to handle Instagram algorithm, your ability to be able to manipulate all those ones. Those are productive digital skills. Your ability also, productive digital skills also means your ability to manage yourself using technology. Using technology. Number 3 is the developer digital skills. Now, this is a little bit advanced. This is where you can develop, customize, modify digital technology. This is where you do coding, Python, data analytics, data science, creating and applying artificial intelligence. Those are the cyber networking, cyber security, networking administration. These are developer level where you begin to use digital skills to develop applications, to develop interface, to develop systems. These are developer phase. And the last one is the e-leadership digital skills. This level is your ability to use digital skills to create business model like Zoom did, like Microsoft is doing, like Amazon is doing. And there are some younger people who are also doing that now, who are actually using digital skills to create business model. Facebook did the same. They did the same. So your ability to create business model, you can't start from here if you have not passed this level. You can't get there. So there's a consumer digital skills, there's a productive digital skills, there's a developer digital skills, and there's a e-leadership digital skills. So these are those levels. So let me wrap up because of my time. What's the way forward? What do I do now? Now, after all this thing this young boy has said, where do I start from? Number 1, create your skill development map. Ask yourself, where am I? What skills, what digital skills do I have? What digital skills do I need? And what digital skills, where can I get them? Create your own skill development map. Don't compare yourself with other people. The Bible tells us those that compare themselves among themselves are not wise. So you sit down and say to yourself, what digital skills do I have? What digital skills do I need? And where can I get the digital skills from? That's the first place to start. Number 2, these are the various levels. Because of time, I can't go through this. Number 2, focus on skills and potential, not credential and certificates. Focus on skills and potential, not credentials and certificates. Nigeria is certificate driven. I know that. But when it comes to a digitalized world, it's not the certificate you have, it's what you can do. Focus on skill acquisition. Focus on potential, not credential. Number 3, read books. Almost everything you need in the digital world is in a book somewhere. Read books. If you can't read books, read blogs. Blogs today are like the articles in the newspaper of many years ago. When you read blogs today, blogs try to compress what you can find in several books. When you read blogs, it gives you ability to also begin to understand what are these digital skills. I'm not talking about gossip blogs now. There are some professional blogs that helps you. For example, Medium is one of the blog sites you can go. You can get a lot of digital skills knowledge from there. Number 5, you can watch YouTube videos. Several things on YouTube. As a matter of fact, I told one of my people that YouTube is university today. YouTube is the university of the future. Several videos today will collapse time, will collapse knowledge, and you can get what you need in a little time. Number 6, you can take a course. There are several courses today on digital skills that you can learn from. Take a course. Just go on Google and ask courses in this line. After you've done your skill map, after you've done a digital skill map, you can go on Google and search for courses that relate to what you want to learn. And number 7 is social. The social. Social media is our new town hall meeting. The town hall meeting, the village meeting we used to go many years ago. That's where social media is today. So be sociable. If you go online on social media, some of the things you're looking for, you find it there. You find it, and that's number 7. So in conclusion, to thrive in the connected economy and society, digital skills must also function together with other abilities. Now, I'm saying this because if there are young people here listening to me who believe, oh, I'm a digital native, I'm the world, I'm the next world, I'm the future. Come now. Digital in the next to thrive in a connected economy and society, the digital skills must function with other abilities. It must function with strong literacy to avoid you being embarrassing yourself on the global scales. It must also embrace numeracy skills. It must embrace critical and innovative thinking. It must embrace complex problem solving. It must embrace your ability to collaborate and tolerate other people. It must embrace social economic skills, social emotional skills, social emotional skills. Because in a digital world, it is easy for your mental health to be affected. Because I think it was one of my mentors that did a research. I said in the next 2-3 years, mental health will be on the top level of health issues in the world, which is why we need to have social emotional skills. So it's not just about digital skills. The digital skills cannot stand alone. It needs strong literacy, numeracy skill. It needs critical and innovative thinking. It needs complex problem solving. Its ability to collaborate and social emotional skills. So I don't want to talk about this. In conclusion, finally, you need to act. What does act mean? Action changes things. Nothing changes until you act on it. So now that I would say a very big thank you to you all for having me on this call. I'm humbled to be here today. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. My namesake, Femi. I don't know who is going to be paying the name fee, this morning.
Thank you, sir.
We're really blessed, with your presentation. I want to announce that we still have some time left, and this might be a very good position if you have questions. If the area you require clarification, please just drop it on the chat, or you can raise your hand, and then we'll recognize you. You have a question? You have a comment on the past 2 papers? Let's drop the question on the chat box. Well, we're having some good comment, but we're looking for question. Please, if you have a question, clarification, I can see one hand. In order for us to say that, can you please, can you please drop it on the chat box so that we can ask the speaker to attend to that. Let's know if you have questions. I hope we are not too far back in the digital space that we don't know how to digitally raise our hands. Maybe we'll ask Femi to show us how to.
Hello.
Questions? Okay. All right. Femi, I have a question for you here. You see, my question is for digital marketing. What skill can I really learn in order to sell to the world?
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you so much. Sir. That was a very fantastic question. When it comes to digital marketing, it's a course on its own. It's a course on its own. It's all about you taking marketing from the traditional sphere and you using the cyber world. The cyber world now involves social media and all other cyber interfaces for marketing. So when it comes to digital marketing, one of the things you must understand is what is the psychology of the people you're trying to market to online. Because when it comes to digital marketing, number one thing you must understand is the world has become a global village. Many people are also trying to get people, for example, is it AliExpress? Also is trying to enter into this market, has entered into this market. So digital marketing itself is a course on its own. What I would advise for you is, because I don't know what you're trying to market digitally, because there are several products online now. So first thing you need to do is what sector do you really want to focus on? When you know the sector you want to focus on, you can actually begin to take a course on digital marketing, because digital marketing itself is a course on its own. So you can go on Google, and when you check on Google, it will show you some of the courses you can attend. I don't want to advertise companies here, but there are some companies I know that you can reach out to. They can help. They will train you on digital marketing, because when it comes to digital marketing, there's also there's another one they do cross-selling. There's a lot on digital marketing. So, but I will advise first know the sector you want to play in, then take a course on it. Take a course on it. So there are a lot of skills in it.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question is asking, what are the courses one can start with for someone in the real estate industry?
When you say start, you want to sell courses to them, or you want to learn?
Oh, I think the gentleman that asked this question is in real estate. Maybe he's a surveyor or a quantity surveyor, and he's asking what kind of a course that can benefit him, maybe to market.
Okay, to benefit him. Okay, he wants to learn it now. Now, if it's about you learning courses that can benefit in real estate, one of the key things I found out is a lot of people now are selling properties online. They are now selling properties online. So one of the things you must understand, you need to learn is you need to learn how to create graphics, designs. Because many people sell properties on Instagram more now. Why? Because Instagram is about seeing. It's about ability to see, to feel. Twitter and the rest is all about mini blogging. So people want to see. So you need to talk about your ability to create designs. That's number one. Number two, you need to talk about the skills where you can segment your people. What kind of real estate are you into? Is it premium? Is it for middle class? Or is it for one mortgage you can pay for a long time? So you need to understand the segment of the market you want to go into. Then you can begin to target them online. Another thing you can do is you can actually start talking about getting a website. Now, you may not develop the website yourself. You can get someone to do it for you. But if you get the website running, how do you get the website outside? So for a real estate guy, digital marketing is still going to work for you. Digital marketing will work for you for a real estate person.
Okay, thank you very much. Tony Chukura, can we have your question? Tony Chukura. I know he's digitally literate, but meanwhile, he's still trying to sort himself out. The next question that came in is, say, what are the courses one can start? Which for a practicing lawyer, what critical skill do I need as a practicing lawyer?
Let me say I'll take from a friend who actually started something. He moved some of the legal practice into the digital space. He created a platform whereby those who need the services of lawyers can actually meet those lawyers who subscribe to him. So he created a platform whereby lawyers are meeting those who need them. That's a digital. That's a wealth for him. That's a wealth for him. Now, as a lawyer, what kind of digital skills do you need? Number one is you need social skills. Number two, you may need to begin to learn how to put your rights up in an understandable manner for a layman, that they will know that anytime I need a lawyer, I can begin to look for you. Number three, another skill you may need to start thinking about is how to create a brand for yourself on social or on the cyberspace that people who need you can call for you. It's one of the key things you must understand. So there are several lawyers today who, when they put up write-ups, people understand that when I need this kind of, for example, Sega on Twitter is a lawyer who does a lot of human rights activism. But the truth is, he created a brand for himself on Twitter, and when people needed the service, they come for him. So you may begin to think about how do you brand yourself in the digital world, that when people need you, they can call for you. And one of the key things you can do is the little things you know in law, you can begin to do some write-up for laymen who to understand, and they'll begin to gravitate towards you. With that one, you're already creating a community for yourself.
Thank you very much. Questions are still pouring in. The next one, I say thanks, Femi. You talk about advanced level technology. What's the place of an organization in practical production and manufacturing? I get this question is talking about a business that has manufacturing operations. I think the question is, how does digital skill, how can it impact the operation of such a manufacturing concern?
Thank you, sir. I think it's already affecting the manufacturing company. For example, most of our processing machines are a little bit laid back in this part of the world, which is why even though they import things into this country, they seem to be cheaper than what we create here. For me, I think the first thing we need to start looking at is our processes in the manufacturing industry we do. When you look at the processing bit of your company, of your organization, the next question you need to ask yourself is, how advanced is what I'm doing? Because, for example, there's some laser technology that has been brought into the manufacturing industry. There's some robotics that has also been brought into the manufacturing robotics here that has brought into the manufacturing industry. So you need to understand what is their place in what we do. And when you understand this, you begin to ask yourself a question: can I afford this? If you cannot afford to do this, what else do you want to do? Do you want to outsource? Because remember, I was saying in the digitalized world, one of the jobs that's created is outsourced jobs. Now, do you want to outsource this? For example, I know a woman who got a job to manufacture about 100 shirts in Nigeria. And she looked around and said, for me to manufacture 100 shirts in Nigeria, I don't have a factory to do this. And they gave her an ultimatum few days in China. And she still made profit. When she took them to China, the labor there was cheaper than what she'll have cost her in Nigeria. So we need to start looking at, do you want to outsource? Do you want to bring in better advanced processing machines into the country? So those are some of the things you need to look at for that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Femi. Before, let's go back to a little bit of brick and mortar. Amazi, I have a question here for you. One of our members asked, say you mentioned about the need for small businesses to go into collaboration with bigger organizations to take their business to the next level. Can you please give us a lead for a few organizations that one can partner with?
Well, it all depends on your line of business. Let me take the pharma school business, for example, where I have some familiarity. If you are a supply company, let's say you are a printing company, you can print packaging materials, and all you do is when you receive orders, you print them. You can go into a partnership with a pharmaceutical company and they give you their yearly or even quarterly order, and you keep supplying and they keep paying on an agreed term. In that case, you can guarantee them they will get a price for a year or a quarter, and then you have a guaranteed supply. That's a kind of partnership, not just quote you and then they give you a long-term business, but you go to them with that proposition that you are constantly going to be printing for them and supplying them all the time. That's just a low-hanging opportunity. So you get a 1-year supply, a 2-year supply, 2 supply agreement. This happens very, very much with if you're in the supply logistics side. Long-term contracts attract fixed prices where you now get volume discount, because manufacturers don't want prices to change every day. So you can build that kind of variation. Look at inflation and you say, look, I want to get into a partnership with you, make me this. There are areas like exclusive distributorship. I'm going to take exclusive distributorship. I am going to provide a warehouse. I'm going to take away all the problem of warehousing and running after customers for you or collecting money. Let me take over your receivables. Let me take over distribution. That's partnership between small and big. Every big company has series of problems it's facing. And all you need to do as a small company, do a survey, research, and you find out those kind of problems that companies, small, big companies are, which you can easily nimble. You are nimble, you can enter and help them. So it's in all different. Whether it's a telecoms company, there was a time the energy company were looking for who will do their metering for them, who would do collection of debt for them, and so forth and so on. The telcos. So there is some service you can offer that can create a partnership that can endure. But it is you, the small business, that has to go and research and say, what is the area? Even if it's a service they're offering themselves already, you go and tell them, look, I'm going to offer this service to you cheaper and better and more efficiently. And that's what they call outsourcing. They will outsource security, they will outsource printing, they will outsource sometimes distribution, warehousing, even billing. As FEMI, the Abegunde just said, some of the bills you get from international companies, the bill is being generated in India, where you're in the United States or you're Russia. You think the bill is coming from is there. Some call centers of big companies are situated in an island. And if you call them, you think you are calling Diamond Bank or Access Bank. They are replying you from one island. That is the kind of thing, partnerships that survives and which guarantees long-term benefit on both sides.
Thank you very much, sir. There's no doubt that I could see that the heart of our members are turning towards digital skill, which is a good thing. But one of the things we need to remind ourselves, just like everything that comes on the scene, a sound business foundation, going back to the fundamentals, business, like Mazi explained to us, they are very key. It's just like you look at the invention of what petrol engine did. It changed the face of production. IT is also doing the same thing today, but it's not going to be the end. Something new is going to come tomorrow. So I think the whole issue is to be adaptive. The whole issue is to keep learning. The whole issue is to taking advantage of new opportunity. The biggest thing today is that you can't afford to stop learning. If you do, you're already almost a dead person. I can't forget, like Femi mentioned, you look at the top 20, I did a presentation for a company where I just checking. You look at a lot of companies that thought it was impossible for them to fail. You look at Kodak. I mean, what if you fail to innovate? Kodak is on the top of the industry. In fact, funny enough, they actually created something close to Instagram more than 12 years ago. But they were afraid to take advantage of that technology because they thought it's going to December, their printing market. And I want to ask anybody on this call today, how many of you printed film over the past 5 years? Facebook and Instagram has killed Kodak. So the market was taken away. Even in our local market, a lot of people thought it was because the government didn't sell Nitel to Awujale. Well, the guys who killed Nitel, they were actually on Lagos Island, or the cyber cafes. You remember the cash cow of Nitel was purely international call. I remember those days, for you to send a fax to make a call to you, you need to go and queue you up at Nitel House at night. And this guy came in, international call dropped to 150. From 150, it dropped to 100. In fact, I got to say that they begin to hawk international call on the street, and the end of Nitel. They are no more today. And there are many of such businesses. So I think the key issue for us, as we wrap up this session, is extremely important for us to begin to look at ourselves, like we've been told severally. I think we need a balance. One of the errors that comes sometimes, we think once we get on the new fad, it's a cure-all. But I want to let you know that digital skill is built on business, very sound business foundation. When you do that, then you can be able to leverage the technology. Like people who took advantage of manufacturing automation to bring us the kind of thing we're seeing today. The same thing is going to happen. But it's very key for us that we go back to the fundamental. The place of vision is very, very important. What are you in the business for? Even in this digital space, you still need to define what problem are you solving. And if you can't answer that question, it doesn't matter the amount of skill you've got. You could write code with anything. But if you fail to make that connect, you discover that the skill will not do you too much. So we really want to thank presenters this morning. I want to thank Engineer Ogunusi for showing us the path of what life is going to be post-COVID. And, you can, each time I see Mazi around, I've been privileged to serve under him as a field rep. And each time I have opportunity to listen to him, you take something fresh. I want to confess that that paper in Port Harcourt, I'll be coming back to you to show you the roadmap, what has happened since that meeting. It's very, very important. I want to avail ourselves of the opportunity, we have when we come together like this. And Femi, my namesake, really want to thank you. It's good to see that there's life, in beyond. You look on this call, a lot of us are on the other side of 50, and it's very good, to see that, wisdom, like one of the friend Elihu said, is not only in old men. I want to thank you for the insight you share with us this morning. In fact, one of the questions that is here, which we'll be getting back to you, someone was asking, say, how can we get Mr. Femi to come and teach us how to be more digitally literate? I want to let you know that Femi is hearing you, and I'm sure the prayer will be answered very soon. Thank you very much for a very wonderful session.